Hello, my wonderful English learners. Welcome back to English Unlocked, the podcast. I'm Teacher Emma, and today I want to share something close to my heart. Something that might completely change how you approach your English journey. Have you ever sat down to study English for 3 or 4 hours, feeling so motivated and ready, only to find yourself exhausted, frustrated, and somehow learning nothing that stays with you? Take a breath. You're not alone in this struggle. Stay with me until the end, because I'll show you exactly how to use just 15 minutes in a way your brain truly loves. Today, I want to talk about something I call the gentle power of small moments. This means studying English in short, loving sessions, rather than forcing yourself through marathon study days. Now, let me tell you why this approach feels like coming home to yourself. Let me start with a story about Sophia, one of my learners from Brazil. Sophia used to wake up every Saturday morning with this burning desire to finally master English. She would set aside 5 whole hours. 5 hours! She would prepare everything perfectly. Her notebooks, her coffee, her favorite English videos. And for the first 30 minutes, she felt like a champion. She felt proud, determined, ready to conquer the world. But then, something would shift. Not dramatically, but quietly. Like when clouds slowly cover the sun. Her mind would start to wander. The words on the page would dance around. The podcast voices would become background noise. She was still sitting there, still looking at her materials. But her brain had gently walked away. Here's what amazes me about the human mind. When we push too hard, when we demand too much, our brain doesn't fight back loudly. It simply closes the door. It protects itself. And this is actually a beautiful thing. My dear learners, your brain is taking care of you. But Sophia felt like she was failing. She would force herself to continue because she had planned 5 hours. She didn't want to seem weak or lazy. So she would push through, reading the same sentence over and over, not because it was difficult, but because her mind was no longer present. This created something I see so often: fake progress. Sophia covered many pages, watched many videos, but the next day, most of it was gone. Like writing in sand before the tide comes in. Let's go deeper. Why does our beautiful brain stop learning during these marathon sessions? Your brain is not a machine. My wonderful learners, it's a living, breathing system that thrives on feeling safe and curious and light. When we study for hours and hours, we slowly remove these precious feelings. First, curiosity disappears. Then energy fades. Then focus drifts away. What remains is only time. And time without joy, without presence, creates very little real learning. But here's the hidden damage. When we end our study sessions feeling exhausted and heavy, we teach our brain something dangerous. We teach it that English takes too much from me. Next time we think about studying, we feel resistance before we even begin. Now, let me tell you about Marco from Italy. Marco discovered something beautiful. He started studying English for just 15 minutes every single day. Just 15 minutes. At first, he felt almost guilty. Surely this isn't enough, he would think. But listen to what happened. Because Marco knew his session was short, his brain felt completely safe. There was no pressure and no fear of exhaustion. His mind stayed open and curious. He would choose one simple thing, maybe listening to a short story, or reading one paragraph very slowly and mindfully. That's all. Every time Marco finished his 15-minute session, while still feeling fresh and bright, something magical happened. His brain remembered the experience as pleasant. It remembered feeling good. And you know what our brains love? They love to repeat experiences that feel good. This is what I call the next time effect. How you feel at the end of your study time decides how you feel when you think about studying again. If you stop while tired, next time feels heavy. If you stop while still enjoying yourself, next time feels like returning to a friend. Take a breath. Let this sink in. Marco created what I love to call a positive learning cycle. Easy start, good feelings, gentle finish, and then wanting to return tomorrow. His brain began to trust that English was safe, manageable, something that could fit beautifully into his life. In just 1 month, Marco had more actual contact with English than Sophia had in her weekend marathon sessions. He listened more, absorbed more, remembered more. Most importantly, he felt more confident and peaceful about his learning journey. Here's something that touches my heart deeply. Many of my learners try to be heroes. They want these dramatic, impressive study days. But beautiful language learning isn't about hero moments. It's about gentle consistency. It's about creating a loving habit that feels as natural as breathing. Short sessions train the habit. Long sessions train only motivation, and motivation, as you know, comes and goes like the weather. But habits? Habits stay with us, like faithful friends. When English becomes a gentle daily habit, you no longer ask yourself, should I study today? You simply do it. Like making your morning tea or brushing your teeth. It becomes part of who you are. Now, let me share something fascinating about how memory actually works. Your beautiful brain needs gaps. These are like spaces between learning moments where your mind can work quietly in the background. When you study, then stop, then return later, something wonderful happens. Your brain takes this time to organize information, to make connections, to strengthen what you've learned. Let me tell you about Fatima from Saudi Arabia. She discovered this beautiful truth. She would listen to an English sentence in the morning. I was running late this morning. Then, later in the day, she would hear it again in a different context. Her brain would light up with recognition. Oh, I know this. This feeling of recognition is like sunlight for memory. It makes everything grow stronger. Long marathon sessions have no gaps. They give your brain no time to breathe, no space to process. Short sessions create these natural, necessary gaps, where real learning happens in the quiet moments between. Let's go deeper into how to practice this gentle approach. The most important rule for short sessions is focus. This means your attention rests fully on one thing. Just one. You don't listen and read and check your phone and think about dinner all at the same time. You choose one loving action. Maybe you listen to a beautiful English story for 10 minutes. You sit comfortably, you breathe naturally, and you simply listen. You don't pause every sentence to translate. You don't judge yourself for not understanding everything. You just listen, like listening to music you love. Or maybe you read one paragraph very slowly and gently. You notice the words. You feel their rhythm. You don't rush to finish. You savored the experience. This is what I call focused learning. Slow but deep, gentle but powerful. Here's what surprises many learners. You might think, Emma, I only listened for 10 minutes. I only read one page. Surely this isn't enough. But my dear friends, learning doesn't count pages or minutes. Learning counts change. If your understanding grew even a tiny bit, if you felt a small spark of joy, if you connected with the language in some small way, then the session was perfectly successful. Now, here's one of the most important ideas I want to share with you today. Stop while it still feels easy. This feels strange at first? I know. You might think, but I feel good. I should continue. I should do more. But stopping early isn't weakness. My beautiful learners. It's wisdom. It's a loving strategy for long-term success. When you stop while still feeling bright and energized, your brain remembers the session as positive. It thinks, that was pleasant. That didn't cost too much energy. I want to do this again. This creates what I call magnetic learning. Your brain naturally wants to return to the experience. Most learners stop only when they feel tired, when they can't focus anymore. This teaches the brain that learning equals exhaustion. Instead, we want to teach our brain that learning equals joy, ease, possibility. Let me tell you about Chen from China. Chen decided to trust this gentle approach. And something beautiful happened. Each time Chen stopped while still feeling good, he found himself looking forward to his next session. English stopped feeling like a duty and started feeling like a gift he gave himself. Here's something magical that happens when you stop early. Your brain continues learning after you stop studying. Yes, even when you're cooking dinner, or taking a walk, or sleeping, your mind quietly processes what you learned. It makes connections. It strengthens memories. It prepares for tomorrow's session. But if you study until exhaustion, your brain has no energy left for this quiet background processing. It's too tired to organize and store what you learned. Take a breath. Feel how this approach already feels lighter, more sustainable, more loving. Now, let me address something important. Some of my learners feel guilty about short sessions. They think, this feels too easy. Am I being lazy? Shouldn't learning be harder? My wonderful friends, difficult doesn't mean better. Painful doesn't mean more effective. In fact, when learning becomes painful, we often learn to avoid it rather than embrace it. You already have enough time for beautiful English progress. You don't need more hours in your day. You need better timing. You need a more loving approach. You need to work with your brain, not against it. Think about it this way. Would you rather study English for 3 hours once a week and feel exhausted and resistant? Or would you rather have 15 gentle, joyful minutes with English every single day, building a loving relationship that grows stronger over time? The choice feels clear to me. Here's what I want you to try. Tomorrow, set aside just 10 to 15 minutes. Choose one simple thing. Maybe listen to this episode again. Maybe read one short article, very slowly. Maybe repeat a few sentences until they feel natural in your mouth. Focus completely on this one thing. Be present with it. When your mind wants to wander, gently bring it back. No judgment, no pressure, just gentle attention. And here's the most important part. Stop while you still feel good. Even if part of you wants to continue. Stop while English still feels light and pleasant. Trust me on this. Notice how you feel when you finish. Notice if you're looking forward to tomorrow's session. Notice if English starts to feel more like a friend and less like a challenge. My dear learners, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need heroic study sessions to make real progress. You need consistency. You need gentleness. You need to trust that small, loving steps taken daily will quietly transform everything. As I always say, English isn't something you conquer. It's something you befriend. And the most beautiful friendships grow through gentle, regular connection, not through dramatic, exhausting encounters. So tomorrow, try this gentle approach. Give yourself the gift of 15 peaceful minutes with English. Stop before you're tired. End on a positive note. Trust the process. Your brain is wise. Your heart knows what feels right. Listen to both. Which feels better for you right now? Long study sessions or gentle daily practice? Write one word in the comments. I love reading your thoughts. Thank you for spending this time with me today, my wonderful learners. Remember, learning English is a journey of joy, not a race to the finish line. Take it one gentle day at a time. Until our next episode, be kind to yourself, trust your progress, and keep that beautiful curiosity alive. With love and encouragement, Teacher Emma.